Yana was listed as questionable today, ended up playing and starting. Just what is your status looking like going forward, and what's it like to see her out there getting minutes?
I didn't think she was going to go. She landed on her hip and looked pretty painful. So as of yesterday, it was, she was going to be out. And then this morning she said she felt pretty good. But obviously you saw her 2-3 times up and down the floor and she has to come out. So we'll see where that takes us between now and Thursday.
When the players were in here, before they walked out, AZ went out of her way to say what a great teammate Ayanna is and how much she loves playing with her. And then KK chimed in that Yana's always got a smile on her face, just given she didn't get to play for 2 years. And how much has she impressed you coming back, and just what she'd like to have off the court?
Yeah, Ayanna, from the time that she got here as a freshman, has always been, one of the best people to have as a teammate, because she engages with everyone. She works exceptionally hard. She's no maintenance, It is unfortunate that, like it was for a lot of that group, to miss a lot of time, to not be able to play as much as obviously you would love to play when you first go to college and think about what your career is going to be like. But I do think that, we talked about this with the team. There are different journeys for every kid that goes through college, and at the end, you may have gotten what you wanted, you may not have gotten what you wanted, but you certainly got a lot, and it's life-changing for you, for your teammates, for everyone, and it can't all be about what happened on the court. There's so much more to your college career. So I think Yana's gotten a lot out of this. Unfortunately, it didn't translate to having the opportunity to do it on the court.
Geno, Caroline said yesterday that nothing was expected about her time here, from the role she needed to play as a freshman to all the challenges she's been through in the years since. What sticks out to you about the way she's handled both early opportunity and the challenges that follow?
I would say it goes maybe all the way back to recruiting, during the recruiting process. Carol had a lot of things that she had to overcome in high school, a lot of injuries that made it tough for her at the high school level. But she, such a tough competitor, she wants to play so badly, that she wouldn't let anything get in the way. And I remember, I remember her stepping into a situation when Paige was hurt that kind of played right into her competitiveness. And I remember the game at DePaul when she first got hit really, really good, and got a bucket at the end of the game in overtime to win it for us. Just that kind of kid, wants to be out there, wants to be counted on, isn't afraid, isn't worried about, anything other than, what do I got to do to help us win? And she's taken on a lot of different roles in the time that she's been here based on circumstances. And same thing, all the players have a connection one way or another, and that to me is what you're trying to do. You're trying to come here and have an impact on and off the court, and she certainly has had that.
It's like Heckle and Khalees were some of the most emotional, having only been with some of these guys for a couple of months. Does anything feel unique to you about the closeness that this group has managed to have in not too long a time?
Yeah, We talked about it. The coaches we've talked about it quite often, actually, because it's a little bit unusual to have everybody on the same page, every day. We have 4 players that played a significant role in winning a national championship last year. And you would think that group would be hard to kind of mesh with if you were new, but I think our players are so open and so appreciative of everyone on the team that it's easy. If you're the kind of kid that's looking for a connection, you're looking for a way to be part of a team, they're going to make it easy for you to do that. And if you're struggling with that, they are really good at pulling you in, looking out for you. I'm sure Khalees is probably really emotional. She's probably sitting here thinking, how am I going to get through next year without these guys? And I think too, the younger guys, the younger you are, you're affected because you see yourself in them. Oh my God, that's going to be me in a short period of time. And they may think it's a long period of time, but it's not. So I'm glad they feel that way. That tells you even more about that senior class, that they've been able to touch not just their classmates, but all the young guys as well.
Coach, you talked a little bit last year about the impact and the lessons that you learned from Paige and that group of seniors. Can you take anything away from this group, and if so, what does it say about them as players?
I think probably ever since the pandemic, right? Ever since 2020, it seems like that's when this whole journey started, right? I kind of I forget exactly the date, the years actually, they all run into each other, but Paige included this group, throw all the other players that have been part of this group since 2000. And an awful lot has happened. I don't know that any group of players can look back and say anybody's had it harder than we've had it since we've been here. Individually, some harder than others, but as a group, I mean, you think about it, each and every one of them has been affected somehow, some way, some more than others, as I said. So what I would take away, and I mentioned this, is it would have been easy to just give up on trying to finish it, trying to, still get something out of it. Sometimes when you have a lot and you lose it, you're then thrown into, this is going to be the hardest thing you've ever had to do. And then it happens again and again. I can't imagine being in that situation and keep fighting back. So hopefully that helps them going forward, whether it's in basketball or in their life after they leave here. But certainly it's been a journey, and certainly it's been an epic adventure for some of them. Certainly has.
You've seen a lot of your players win Olympic gold. You had a hockey player today from UConn.
Yeah.
Win Olympic gold. How special is it for the university to have something like that?
There's so many great stories on this campus of Olympians. There was one right behind our bench, Andy Bissett. There's so many great stories, and I know. I remember when when Tage played here, and you go, wow, that kid's really good, And you never think that kid's going to win a gold medal in the Olympics. I mean, it's 40 years since we've won a gold medal in men's ice hockey in the Olympics. And then when it does happen, it's probably the most incredible feeling that you can ever imagine. For Cav, for his program, for all Tage's teammates and the university, of course. Yeah, you know, it elevates him, and it elevates the hockey program, because they'll always have that, you know. Emmy scored yesterday, which is, the last game, 2 days ago, right? Yeah, which was really cool. I got a chance to see it. Yeah, you feel like you know these guys, and a lot of the guys that played in this tournament that came through Hockey East, and you saw them play in person. You know, I remember watching BU, and I'm like, man, that kid down there is like really, really good. They go, yeah, he's the best player in the country. I'm like, yeah, damn. There's a lot of really good players out there, and he stands out. And you know, it's a kid celebrating. You know, you're like, I asked somebody if they could go and check how many of those Olympians that were on the ice today, on both teams, came through Hockey East. And they told me our goalie played at UMass Lowell. Crazy that, you know, if you go over right down the street here, go to Toscano, you can see the greatest hockey players in the world, future great hockey players. So, yeah, I was really excited. And it's great for our university in so many ways. Because I remember going to watch hockey games in the hut, as it was called, freezing your ass off because it was outdoors. And to where we are today, talking about a kid winning an Olympic gold medal. Fantastic.
Any other questions? Okay, one last one. Hi, Coach.
Hi.
What did you think of the defensive pressure today from your team as they forced 39 turnovers?
I don't know. They were telling me on the way in that we set a record. Tied a record for forcing the most turnovers ever. I had no idea. As I was watching, my eyes were hurting from watching all the 3-pointers that we missed, and my ears hurt from the clanging on the rim. So between that, I wasn't paying attention to a lot of the turnovers. But yeah, our pressure was really, really good. We used it the right way. You know, we made Providence play way faster than they play. I mean, they just won 4 games in a row in the league, and I thought we started the game a certain way. You know, even though it's hard to start a whole different lineup, but I thought the pressure was a constant, even though I didn't know the number. You know, that's been something that we've done really well the entire season.
Thank you.
All right, thanks everybody.
Thank you.